2022. This is Rockstar Games headquarters, the very HQ that has built some of the greatest titles in gaming history: Red Dead Redemption, Max Payne, Grand Theft Auto. Right now, behind these walls, developers are crafting what is set to be the biggest game they have ever made, Grand Theft Auto 6. A game so secretive, so anticipated, that even whispers about its setting or characters sent the entire gaming world into chaos. Inside this HQ, the glow of monitors fills the rooms as designers and engineers wrap up their work for the day. But then, it happens. A notification pings. One of the staff opens it casually, expecting another routine message. What they see instead stops them cold. Clips, not rumors, not concept art. Real GTA 6 gameplay videos, never meant to leave this building, already uploaded across the internet. Entire missions. New protagonists. Vice City itself, alive again, years before its official reveal. And no one knows how. The developers stare at their screens in disbelief. On Reddit, Twitter, and gaming forums, fans go wild. Millions click, comment, share. It's the biggest gaming leak in history, and it all happened overnight. This is the story of how Rockstar Games got hacked by not a syndicate or a group of hackers, but by a 17-year-old kid. Born in Oxfordshire in 2005, Arion Kurtaj didn't grow up like other kids. He attended a prestigious private school in Oxford, excelling in mathematics and computer science, the kind of student teachers whispered about. Brilliant, but restless. Yet behind the quiet exterior, life wasn't smooth. Arion was shy, introverted, often lost in the glow of a computer screen rather than the chatter of classrooms. His education soon took a sharp turn. After a turbulent period, one involving social care, behavioral struggles, and even physical altercations, his formal schooling ended earlier than most. His mother eventually brought him back home, hoping to give him stability. But there was something else about Arion, something that set him apart. He wasn't just good with computers, he was obsessed. Lines of code became his second language. With every late-night click and keystroke, he drifted deeper into the world of hacking. That obsession led him to Lapsus, a rogue hacking collective infamous for breaking into tech giants: Microsoft, NVIDIA, Uber, names worth billions, humbled by a crew of mostly teenagers with keyboards instead of weapons. Arion, under the handle White, was proving himself inside this digital underworld. Each breach fed his growing reputation. But the gaming industry? That was different. Personal. And what Arion was about to do next would shake Rockstar Games to its very core. The story didn't begin with Rockstar. Months earlier, when Arion first joined Lapsus, he was just another kid with curiosity and a knack for coding. But inside this notorious hacking collective, curiosity turned into chaos. Veteran members taught him the tricks of the trade: social engineering, phishing, exploiting corporate vulnerabilities. Arion soaked it all in like a sponge. Soon, Lapsus began making headlines. Microsoft, NVIDIA, Samsung, corporate giants, supposedly impenetrable, fell one by one. Confidential data worth millions was stolen, internal tools leaked, employee logins sold on underground forums. But unlike most cybercriminals who hid in the shadows, Lapsus had a different style. They didn't just hack, they mocked. They bragged online, taunted their victims publicly, and demanded ransom money with almost theatrical flair. It was cybercrime, with attitude. And through it all, one name kept surfacing: White. This wasn't just any hacker. White was Arion's handle. The teenager from Oxfordshire was climbing the ranks with each successful breach, turning his digital mischief into an infamous reputation. He didn't fear exposure. If anything, he seemed to enjoy the attention. Authorities were now watching closely, and Arion knew it. Yet, he kept going, hit after hit, growing bolder each time. Eventually, the law caught up. Arion was arrested, his personal electronics confiscated, his online access cut off. For most, that would have been the end. But not for him. In September 2022, out on bail for earlier hacks, Arion was supposedly offline, his laptop locked away by officials. Yet, with nothing but a hotel TV, a borrowed smartphone, and a cheap Amazon Fire Stick, he found a way back in. And this time, his target was Rockstar Games. September 2022. Travelodge Hotel, Bicester, England. The room was small, a single bed, beige curtains, a flickering hotel TV. But for Arion Kurtaj, this wasn't just a hotel room. It was his command center. With nothing more than a borrowed smartphone and a cheap Amazon Fire Stick, he transformed this bland space into the launchpad for one of the most notorious hacks in gaming history. That night, Arion cracked through layer after layer of Rockstar's digital defenses. Firewalls, login barriers, encrypted portals, gone. Hours of silent work, broken only by the glow of the TV screen and the occasional buzz of his phone. Then, he made it in. Rockstar's internal Slack channels, the lifeline of their developers, lay open before him. From there, he dug deeper, moving through systems like a ghost in the machine. And what he found would shake the gaming industry. Over 90 videos of Grand Theft Auto 6, real gameplay, unfinished builds, developer notes, even entire missions, were in his hands. But instead of keeping them private or using them as leverage, Arion went nuclear. He dumped them all online. Reddit, Twitter, gaming forums. Within minutes, the clips spread everywhere. Fans lost their minds. Analysts dissected every frame. New protagonists, Vice City, mechanics, dialogue. Decades of Rockstar secrecy, gone in a single night. Inside Rockstar's headquarters, panic erupted. This wasn't a controlled reveal. This was their half-built masterpiece, raw, unpolished, vulnerable, on display for the entire world. Then came the ransom demand. Arion claimed he had something even bigger, the source code for GTA 6, the crown jewel of Rockstar's empire. He threatened to release it, unless they paid. The City of London police launched a massive manhunt, teaming up with international cybercrime units to track down the culprit behind the GTA 6 leak. Every digital breadcrumb was scrutinized. IP logs, Discord messages, Slack records. Handles were traced across forums and dark web channels. Each clue led to the same familiar name, Lapsus Dollar. But one thing puzzled investigators. The hacker known as White, Arion, wasn't supposed to have any devices. After his earlier arrest, authorities had confiscated everything. By all logic, he shouldn't have been able to pull off a breach of this scale. And yet, the evidence pointed back to him. Working around the clock, police tracked the source of the Rockstar intrusion to a Travelodge hotel room in Bicester, England. When officers finally stormed the room, they didn't find advanced hacking rigs or secret servers. They found a TV, a borrowed phone, and a Fire Stick, the digital equivalent of a slingshot bringing down a giant. Devices were seized. Meanwhile, other Lapsus Dollar members scattered, disappearing into the online shadows. Some accounts went dark. Others mocked law enforcement as they ran. But this time, the police had what they needed: hard evidence directly linking Arion to the Rockstar hack and other breaches before it. The kid who had humiliated multi-billion-dollar companies was finally under arrest again. July 2023. After months of investigation, raids, and courtroom drama, Arion Kurtaj was finally found guilty of multiple high-profile cyber attacks. 17 years old, too young for a standard adult trial. But the evidence was overwhelming. Microsoft, Uber, NVIDIA, Rockstar Games, all linked back to the same teenager with a hotel TV and a Fire Stick. The court faced a dilemma. Arion wasn't an ordinary offender. He was brilliant, unpredictable, and dangerous. Experts warned that with access to any computer, even a smartphone, he could strike again. So instead of prison, the judge ordered something different: indefinite hospitalization under the UK's Mental Health Act. Doctors assessed him as a serious ongoing risk, a mind too sharp, too reckless to be left with the tools of the digital age. But for Rockstar Games, the damage was already irreversible. Development timelines had shifted. Entire sections of Grand Theft Auto 6 had to be reworked. Security systems were overhauled from the ground up, and the fans? They were left waiting. The most anticipated game in history, delayed. One teenager, one hack, and the whole industry felt the aftershocks.